How's it going, guys? It's Mr. Lone Wolf, and today I'm going to go and do this mission called Old Bridge, if I can get it on an angle where you can actually read the thing. Yeah, it's one of the missions on, what's it called, Factory Grounds. It's this bridge in like the top that kind of then theoretically allows you to circle the map a lot easier. As part of the mission I need metal beams which are only from there, but there's that pipe blocking the road, so I just seen here, you can see, I've never been over there before, but that was my plan. Yeah, that's the bridge. However, first I need some cement as well, so I'm going to head to Antonovsky, whatever it's called. I don't like that road going across there. Someone said in the comments the other day, like, you know, just drive on the flat bits, but it's not that simple. You can be like full lock to the right and it's skidding over to the left. And it tends to tip me a lot, so I'm going to try and cut through a little bit of a, well, I definitely now I know, is a much better, just less faffing around. There's no need to go across that awkward bit. Got the Dolphin, got its mad paint job. It's got like a beaver on the side with red eye. I think it says something like all you need is wood. That is of course what she said. So yeah, setting off with the Dolphin. I fancied taking this because, to be honest, I wanted to drop the hammer a bit, do a little bit of a speed run, taking a goddamn professional with me, of course. Don't leave home without them. Yeah, apologies, there's a tiny little glitch going on. Yeah, I just wanted to go a bit quicker. To be fair, I could have used the Phoenix, and again I will be, but I just fancied taking this. I actually wanted to see, the Dolphin's always been a solid truck. You can see now it motors along pretty well. The thing I've always liked about it, it's very nice torque and everything in high gear. The Phoenix truck though has got a very nice high gear. I still hope they don't nerf it. There's a chance they won't, because I was thinking about it earlier. The Voron Grad has always been, well, certainly I can at least say from when I reviewed it, was brilliant in terms of, like, it's very forgiving in the high range as well. You can basically be stopped dead and it'll just wheel spin over doing the whole, you know, stalling thing. So, I don't know. I do see the Phoenix is so much more relevant at the minute that they might do it. Like, back when the Voron Grad was that good, the Taiga was taking a lot of the focus of, if anyone's going to complain about OP trucks, they were probably going to direct it at the Taiga, so the Voron Grad kind of slipped under the radar enough. So yeah, they could still nerf the Phoenix, but I always like the Dolphin. It's my favourite. I would say it's my favourite truck. These pair together, can't really go wrong. So yeah, I just wanted to see how it'd handle on these maps. You can see already a few little slow patches in the mud, but nothing special. This is a much, much better way to go than that stupid section where, yeah, like I say, I get in theory drive along the flat bits, but I don't know, it doesn't always, yeah, work like that. This game has, it can be a little bit of a lucky dip, whether you get understeer, oversteer, any steer, too much, etc. That way it was a bit boggy and all the rest of it. It was just more that it's flat ground, so I didn't tip to the point it's going to auto disconnect the loaf and blah blah blah. And the nice thing with this setup, the Dolphin's pretty rapid, but the Loaf's got another spare 200 litres, of course. Take no damage, I think, the whole way, and then just get a nice little whack at the last second. So yeah, off to this one. I quite like the thumbnail of this map. Looks pretty nice. I quite like the map overall. It's not bad, to be honest. It's not driving me mad or anything. Yeah, this is the route from the garage, pretty much cutting right across the map again. I got this footage when I was already on the other side, because I forgot to get it now, so across that awkward, again, it's pretty cool driving over there. Overall, I do like this map. It's not bad for balance, bar the odd little annoying tree stump and this and that, but yeah, overall, not far off the mark. Yeah, pretty cool drive over there, like nothing crazy, but again, the odd little, like, crossing the river and that, yeah, it's part of the game, innit? That's sort of what, I don't want it to be just a road like this all the way there. But if it's going to be nothing but tree stumps and aggro oils, I don't really want that. I do like to drop the hammer a bit and just generally enjoy the view, enjoy the journey. And yeah. And like I said, with the Dolphin's rapid and everything, so you cover a lot of distance for the fuel. I mean, I can't see because it shrinks the screen. It's 147, 146 litres. So I've used about a quarter of a tank. But I'm already on the second map and I'm already pretty rapidly flying towards my destination, so yeah, what it lacks in fuel it makes up for in kind of time to get there. But with the old goddamn horse with me, like, he's got 120 litres plus his 80 litre fuel tank, so he literally doubles the range of the Dolphin, and then I've got repair points and spare tyres and blah blah blah, so, and I certainly, there'll be a slight amount to which the Lo4f costs the Dolphin extra fuel because I'm bringing the Lo4f with me, but once you bang it in high gear, you're up in the 20s in fuel, and you're going to be anyway, whether you got a Lo4f in there or not, so it'll make a few percent difference, I think, but nothing. Yeah, you're talking like 5 or 10 litres difference, and I've got a spare 200 now, so not that I need any excuse to recommend a Lo4f, don't get me wrong. It's just that it's good advice. I don't know what see, like when I'm driving this way, I don't really tip there that crazy. But when I'm going back that way, it always tips quite a lot. Or certainly more than, yeah, this way. Yeah, like I say, this section, eventually, there is a bridge over to the left of the screen that I believe, I'm pretty sure will be able to build eventually, but cutting over here, I kind of like this sort of stuff. There's a bit trollish there with the, I don't know what might have used to have been some kind of makeshift bridge. I just whacked everything on, but only popped one tyre. Got a spare one on the Dolphin. I mean, at least there's winch points. It's not the end of the world. Maybe you won't get caught every time. To be fair, the Dolphin isn't, you know, top of the tree as far as not catching its chin and everything, so there will be vehicles that can clear that without. Just, I mean, in the sense of, like, that's not... If it was to the point where you 100% have to use the winch every time, you've just negated your own point of difficulty in the game if you're just going to rely on the winch, but, yeah. That little river section's not bad. So we're doing a pretty good time. What's the video on? Like, not even 7 minutes, and we're not far off there, really. My gut feeling is overall, they've literally just dialed back the grip. I know this is probably a better way, in fact, to explain why I don't necessarily pay too much attention to the tyre stats, because there might be other factors, like before that calculation gets to the end result of your grip. It's not just tyre grip. Obviously, I agree, objectively speaking, the higher the number, the better the grip should be, but it could be all sorts. What truck you're using, you know, how much weight's in the truck, is that applying enough grip? So you've got vehicles in this game that weigh nothing. The TUZ, Action, whatever the hell it's called, stupid name for anyone, any of us to try and bother even pronouncing. Yeah, TUZ, it weighs nothing, so it doesn't generate its own grip, so it's a little mad thing that skids around all over the place. The P16 has a lot in it, a lot of weight, and generates its own grip from how much this game allows it to be planted into the floor and all the rest of it, so that can factor in as well as tyres. And I just feel like, from how much I wheel spin here and there in this Dolphin now, I've got the muds on. I mean, to be fair, I suppose actually thinking about it, I could try the chain, because as much as I know the stats don't theoretically bear it out, my lap times or whatever on the cargo container contest, so I might have to try the chain, to be honest. I've said myself, and I do agree with it so far, that they kind of can dig into the mud and bite in, so I might actually pop a set of them on. I just bought this Dolphin. I couldn't be bothered flicking through my garage or finding where I've left the other 12 odd, so I just bought a brand newie, and as I'm not on a snowy map, I equipped mud tyres. Otherwise, if it was a Dolphin I grabbed from somewhere else, I'd probably have chain on it. So anyway, made it here. Get the little Lo4f out. I don't know why, every time I promise you, practically every time I do this on my own, the Lo4f just flies straight out, hits the floor, grips, and I'm gone. Every time I go to do it in a video, it just... And not that it matters, because you just do that, fling a winch out, but... I don't know, I actually have a pretty good success rate of just launching the Lo4f out the back, but it never works. Like camera shy when it comes to that. I was just looking here, like, my Lo4f was leaning, even though I'm on a tarmac yard or whatever, there's like a big muddy hole in the middle, so... Which was doing it, what map was it that was doing that? Flooded Foothills, maybe. When I I achieved a collab on the roof of my Lo4f, but it just kept sinking the tyres, like it wasn't acting like a solid yard anymore. It was just punching my Lo4f's wheels like through the floor of the map. Yeah, got me Dolphin juiced up. I wanted to leave the Lo4f here anyway. I could tow it behind me now, but I don't know, it's just another loaf this end of the map that at some point in the future it's still got its own tank of fuel, spare tyres, some repairs, etc. Yeah, 1 cement, that's all I need. So somebody did say the other day, I had to take 1 lot of cement, I don't know, a few missions ago, and I should have took another one. This must have been the mission they're on about. Which, to be honest, I fully agree. The only reason I wouldn't have anyway is because then I want to make a separate video on this mission. But yeah, strictly speaking, they are correct. I cut... What map was it? It might have been Rift and... No, Zimnegorsk. Zimnegorsk, I fully got into the whole, like, as I'm scouting the map, you know, select and activate every single mission. And I also really efficiently planned, like, every time I found one was like, okay, I can go there and do this and that. And I completed Zimnegorsk so fast, I'd near enough done the map by the time I'd scouted it. And there was a few missions left, obviously, but it was like, I kind of did it a bit too efficiently on Zimnegorsk, so I kind of, even if I theoretically could save a little bit of time here and there, I try and just keep sort of scouting and then the missions separate, because, yeah, that didn't last as long as I was planning them. Another little glitch, I don't know why, it's I deleted a load of videos the other day and that freed up some memory, so normally it's pretty good to me when I've got some free space, but it's not liking it today. So I get bogged down there a bit, nothing special though, fling a few winches out. And that's, like I said, if I really wanted, to be honest, I could have left the loaf, maybe the back end dangling out the back of the sideboard, but I could have kept the loaf in the sideboard, or pulled him forward so his front wheels are hooked over, like, that ledge thing at the front of the sideboard. But if I was turning behind me now with a winch, I'd have to disconnect that each time I want to use my winch. And as I say, I had a loaf at that garage the other day that I used on the live stream. I think there's 2 or 3 more loafs just south of that one I just left there, so you never have too many. Oh yeah, when someone asked me the other day as well, how many loafs have I got, and I said 50, it's 60 now I've got. And I've still got 4 or 5 blanks left in my my garage, so when I've equipped all of them, I'll go and buy another 10, just save the hassle. There's no point in buying one at a time. See what I mean? When I come back this way, it feels a lot more violent with how much it wants to launch me over to the side. Thankfully, it disconnected the cargo, but it didn't actually fall out of there. I don't know if, like... I don't want to go as far as to say this, because I feel like it'd be too much of a good treat for the SnowRunner people to do, but unless I've been getting lucky recently, I feel like I've escaped a few times recently with cargo unpacking, but it hasn't rolled out of my trailer or my sideboard. So again, unless it's just I happen to get 4 or 5 lucky goes in a row, but yeah, it's not been, I don't know, like, almost want to say they might have made it a few % more difficult for it to fall out, but again, I kind of feel like even if that is true, it's probably just by accident. Just got a free piece of wood. That's definitely what she said. And we're out. Oh, it's gone. Yeah, it's quite, to be honest, I should cut through the farm on the way that way, because it's quite a handy little, as the crow flies, take a bit of damage. It's how it got its name, the off-road Dolphin. They liked flying around, and again, makes good use of its fuel. I've made it to the other side of the entire map, and I've, what, 142, so about a quarter of a tank again. And then, yeah, now I'm here, I'm going to go back the same way, like, it's that wiggly road thing, up across the bridge, past the garage. I am actually going to change my route slightly there, but essentially the same. Grab melt beams from here, and then, like I said, cut across there. It looks like it sinks a bit. But I didn't know at this point, never uncovered it. And I haven't really looked properly, but I assume one of the contracts will allow me to rebuild that pipeline, and it'll just unblock the road. Yeah, you'll see going back this way though, there's just no mad level of tipping going this way. Looks like a little bit there. That's probably about as bad as it gets. And it's probably, possibly even, yeah, a little bit quicker and everything. I can keep it in high gear for the most part. There is all these little islands of mud. Drop it down to auto now, but I believe I get it back up into high gear pretty quickly. Yeah, there. Hit something there. I assume that'd be something like a, you know, one of those dead tree carcass things underwater, because whatever I hit there, that wasn't like mud slowing me down, that was something I caught on. But then it kind of vanished, so I'm guessing it's one of those dead trees that just disappears after you run it over. And somebody said as well, the rail tracks are like a viable way of travelling. In theory, I could have tried driving a lot. I mean, I'm going to have to go round into the water because of those train carriages that are kind of tipped over on it anyway, but... And I don't really... it doesn't bother me about this, but I drove through here on the way with the Lo4f on board, and like I said, the Lo4f's weightless unless he needs to be otherwise. But clearly now I've got cargo. I don't know, unless I just got unlucky or whatever. I just bogged down a bit there, and it... Maybe if I just sat there holding the throttle long enough, but I can't even be bothered doing that. I'm just going to stick winches and get going. Stick a winch to the back. Scoot myself over to the right a little bit. Yeah, strictly thinking, I would have said, based on other maps, if this was Black River now, I kind of feel like the Dolphin would have got through that, but that's what makes me think either it's a new type of mud with different set of parameters, or yeah, they've just like baseline dropped the level of grip a little bit. Which wouldn't surprise me, that I could see that being the exact way that they're thinking of like maintaining a difficulty grade with, like, now they're on to phase 5 and everything, which I don't know, to a degree it's like the super snow and death snow and all that, we're all, yeah, a little bit like over it. That's one thing I've always liked about Dolphin. I just went flat out into that post, didn't delete my engine or anything. Like, it never takes damage if you crash at the front into posts like that or trees and anything. Yeah, it just never matters, which is quite nice. Since if it's going to steal my points, like I hit a little snail shell on the road and then it blows my suspension to pieces, then it's nice that I can, yeah, get them back where I crashed and should have took a big hit of damage, but it didn't cost me. There's a little glitch on the camera there. It was a nice, flawless drive-by with a Lo4f. When I travelled back to this map, I just got a Lo4f, stuck him at the garage, just as I fly by, because, you know, why would I leave home without one? And yeah, even the computer couldn't handle the smooth Lo4f collection on the way past, so it's a glitch. This is where now I just ended up going a slightly different way. I remember, thanks to whoever said it the other day, they were like, oh, you should have gone through the little village. And just as I was passing now, I wasn't gonna, and then I kind of, my nose dug in on the Dolphin, the Lo4f crashed into the back of me, and I was like, sod it. Now I'm stopped anyway. It's a sign, stick in reverse, we'll go this way. And to be fair, yeah, it's a pretty decent way. Certainly, if I had an 8-slot trailer or something, it'd be a little bit wiggly and fiddly around here, but nothing crazy. Going the other way, there's like rocks leaning over the road where you have to sort of scoot round at a bit of an awkward angle. So if you have trucks that tip quite easily, this would, yeah, be the preferred route, I reckon. A couple of lampposts and stuff on the inside, but nothing crazy. And then you meet back up. Just to the left of the screen was like the rocks that you'd have to drive around otherwise. Didn't delete my suspension on those concrete blocks. They seem a little bit, I don't know, more reasonable than some. Yeah, well, I mean, I already knew heading here, I need one lot of metal beams. There's a trailer store here anyway, but I just, as I got here, I was like, oh yeah, I've already got a 2-slot sideboard there, so I'll just grab back, get me Lo4f again. What's that, Attachment of Force, I assume? And then, yeah, like I said, out the, so it's sort of the left really, as you look at this yard, it has a road going out. Good old turning circle. I thought I might have ballsed it up and I have to put it in reverse, but thankfully it don't usually let you get away with it too often, but the corner of the Dolphin just skimmed off it. Smash that barrier out of the way. Anti-terrorist barricade doing its job as normal. Well, you'll see now. Driving to here, this is the first time I've ever been here, looked at it or otherwise. Started going pretty deep. It's definitely what she said. And yeah, started taking damage. So I thought, oh, I'll stick it in reverse. At this point, I'm probably just digging trenches with my wheels and yeah, turn the engine off. Switch to the Lo4f, but I forgot at this point. You see, when I attach the winch, I know it's because I'm attaching to a trailer, but it's not offering me the option of like starting the Dolphin up, so it's not assisting me at the minute reversing. I could wedge it behind that telegraph pole, but there's no point, because if I'm going to have to switch to the Dolphin to turn the engine on, I may as well just stick the Dolphin's winch to the telegraph pole. So I was like, right, time to investigate with a goddamn horse. See, he's got a damaged engine, but he don't like to make a fuss. He knows I'm busy. Lo4f like, yeah right. Good luck with that one, game. I've been trying that since Black River. And if I wanted, I could squeeze under those oil pipes and pop back out the other side and all sorts. So, with a goddamn horse. And he's got a roof rack on. If you really wanted to squeeze around some tight spaces, get yourself a bold Lo4f. But it is worth the roof rack. It's a mighty fine roof rack. He is hung like a Lo4f horse. Because I've like twice the roof rack of most of the Scouts, including a Tatran. And that new Jeep Wrangler. Which that Jeep Wrangler, it's not bad, but you know, it's not a goddamn Lo4f, is it? Yeah, at the minute, just reversing. I do a tiny little edit here, about 10 seconds. I was just reversing down that hill, looking what winch points are around, how much distance there is between me and the Dolphin, etc. Now my plan here, see, this is where like all those times in review videos where I'm messing around driving through the ocean and stuff, this is a perfect example of where I like to know that. Like, my plan was to the Dolphin was going to go underwater and take damage. I didn't know if it was going to pop out the other side before it was going to stall or whatever, but it didn't matter, because all I needed to do, I knew the Dolphin could power itself underwater and it'll just take the hit in engine damage. That'll get me close enough to the Lo4f, and then even if I ruin my engine, my Lo4f can fix it and tow it out of there. But in the end, as it happened, the I don't know, the amount of distance where even the Dolphin was underwater wasn't a lot anyway, so it popped out the other side before it really took a major hit. But yeah, that's why on those videos I like to know how well a truck can keep one planted, as in if the truck floats it's not going to grip well. See, if there you go, like if the Dolphin floated there, I wouldn't have made that gap on my own, because yeah, I'd run out of grip as soon as I start floating. So it's nice to know which trucks can do yeah, what they can do. And to be honest, as far as this goes, like, I didn't even know any of this section as I was getting the footage for this. The first time I've ever been here or anything, didn't have a clue what it was gonna throw at me or whatever. But yeah, made it out the other side, stuck a winch to the Lo4f, even though the Lo4f's really on like a pretty awkward angle where I'm kind of going to pull him off the hill. He's still dug in enough to where I could pull forward and get myself there. The winch always does, it's a good example now with the Dolphin, where if I'm hoovering the winch in, the Dolphin's not putting in effort to help me. So you can hear the noise of the winch now, and you can hear the revs of the Dolphin are like nothing. When I let off the winch, in a minute, you'll hear the revs. But you see as well there, just gonna say, I forgot to mention it, as the Lo4f, like, as soon as I winched the Dolphin, it just created its own little Lo4f hole with the rear tyres on tarmac, and the Lo4f just stayed solid planted there and just pulled an entire truck with cargo and a trailer. Yeah, up a pretty steep, awkward hill. Dolphin ain't getting me that easy, like Indiana Jones shit, dodging that big rock. And that was it. Now we're on the other side. Job's a good one. Lo4f, that was just anti-terrorist barricade vengeance at that point. And detonate it with my horn, because I can. And that's it. I don't now there's not even any point. I'm enjoying myself in my Lo4f. I don't need to disconnect it, change back to the Dolphin and blah blah blah, because, yeah, how quick I'm going to get just this last bit done. And you see, even though he's had a red engine the entire time, he don't like to Don't like to make a fuss when he knows I'm busy, so not once did it say stalling or anything. Get the Dolphin here. And yeah, overall this is like a pretty cool mission, to be honest. You know, it's just a good excuse to go driving across both maps. Both that dropped off. Yeah, there is a hole in the middle of the bridge. It looked pretty complete at that point. So, a little cutscene, which this basically now links the entire map up. So yeah, pretty good. Is that $7 odd? Which again, yeah, not terrible. Not as great as say Wisconsin, I think used to pay out, but reasonable. Better than Phase 4, I reckon. Yeah, it was just a nice mission, like, difficult or not. I can make it my own difficulty by taking whatever truck in whatever setup I want, but yeah, it was a pretty cool excuse to be driving around. See, I was only messing around, but this is what I like about the Lo4f. When you reverse into something, like, I can just turn it any way I want, so as far as if there's a tree, I can just reverse against it and spin round 360 round the tree like a clock hand or something. Drop the hammer, gets first dibs on the bridge. He earned it. Fling a winch out, swing around, but you see that kind of pipeline arch. When I did my exploration video, that's where it ended up turning off because this bridge was obviously not available. So yeah, now it's just helped do a big lap of the map, although I'm assuming there's some contract to build that pipe that will be blocking the road further down here. But yeah, anyway, that's about it for today though. It's a good mission, worth doing, got a bridge out of it, can't really complain. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, thanks for my Patreon members. Get yourself a loaf, because as per usual, save me bacon, and I'll be back soon.